just going to do like a couple problems from each one of the sections, and then I'll have you guys do the rest of it. Let's start with the first section. So 1 or 2. So it says, write the standard form of the equation of each line. So general reminder, of course, since we're working with standard form, we've got to do ax plus by equals c. Does anybody else need the stapler?
I do.
You do? Okay. Mads, did you get the stapler already? Not yet? Okay. What about you guys up there? Did you get the stapler? Okay. All right. So we need to get it into the form ax plus by is equal to c. So I don't care which one we do. We can do number 1 or number 2. Do you guys have a preference? Let's do number 2.
Yeah.
That's the illusion of choice. We're just going to do number 2, okay? If we've got to go back and do number 1, that's fine, okay? You guys got it already? Everybody else has it? Okay. All right. Now, the part that makes this problem a little annoying is I've got fractions in there, right? So I'd like to get rid of the fractions. What could I do to eliminate that fraction right from the get-go? Multiply by what? By 3. And I can start by multiplying everything by 3. Otherwise, you would probably start it by distributing that 4/3 to everything. But then you're just spreading that fraction around. And we'd rather not have a fraction. So what I would do, let's do what Chris said. Let's multiply everything by 3. Okay? So on the left side, when I multiply y minus 4 by 3, I would end up with 3y minus 12 equals, and then on the right side, I'm multiplying 3 by 4/3 times x minus 2. Now, I only need to multiply the 3 by just this one expression one time. I don't need to multiply it by x minus 2 and by 4/3. So what I would do is multiply the 3 and the 4/3 by each other. What happens when you multiply 3 by 4/3? The 3's cancel out, right? So you're just left with the 4. So you have 4 times x plus 2. I want to make sure we all understand how we got there. So I multiply the 4/3 by the 3. That canceled the 3's out. So then I end up with that 4 that's there. So now I can distribute everything, okay? So 3y minus 12 equals, and then on the right side, 4x plus 8, okay? Goal is to get it in standard form, which means I need to get both x and y on the same side, right? So what do you guys want to do next?
Subtract y.
I either have to move the y's or I have to move the x's. It doesn't really matter. Braden would like to keep the x positive because he knows that term has to be positive. So he's going to subtract 3y from both sides. So then negative 12, so subtract 3y. And I'm just going to move it. There's nothing to combine it with. Equals 4x minus 3y plus 8. Okay, so subtract 3y from both sides. Sorry, I'm going to do this to make sure you guys know that this is like separate. Oh, why did it steal this y? Let's try it again. Okay. All right, so then after that, so subtract 3y. Okay, that looks a little better. After that, I need to, I'm almost there. What's my last step?
8.
Subtract 8, yeah. So let's move the 8 to the left side. Which gives me, go over here, what is negative 12 minus 8?
Negative 4.
No,
Negative 20.
negative 20. Equals 4x minus 3y. Other way.
Yes. Close.
Close. Yep. All right, so then that would be standard form, okay? All right, and then over here, I would do the same thing. I would multiply everything by 3, but that one ends up being a little easier, right? I'll let you guys practice that one on your own. All right, slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. I don't think that's bad either. I mean, you'd have to, let's do number 3. Let's do this one. That's fine. All right, so y equals negative 5/3 times quantity x plus 3. There's a couple ways that you can do this. We need to get it in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So the form that you guys know and love, okay? You have two options here. What would you guys do? Distribute negative 5/3? We could do that. That's similar to how Tegan solved his problem. Or we can do it similar to what Alyssa did. She knew she didn't want to deal with the fractions. So what could I do to get rid of the fraction? multiply by 3. So I could multiply everything by 3. Do you guys have a preference? It doesn't matter which one we do. Then you don't have to like add and subtract fractions then. It makes it a little easier if we do it Alyssa's way. So let's do that. Let's multiply by 3. Okay? Kind of similar to what I did last problem. So then I get 3y equals, when I do 3 times negative 5/3, the 3's cancel out. So then you have negative 5 times x plus 3. And we already multiplied that parentheses technically by 3, and it canceled out the third. So I don't need to multiply it also by the 3 and also by the x. Okay? Now what I would do is distribute. So then you would have 3y equals negative 5x minus 15. Good catch. But I have one more step, right? I need to get y by itself, so I should do what?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. So I get y equals negative 5/3 x. And then, so I should show this. Negative 15 divided by 3 is what? So ends up being 5. So then there's your answer. Negative 5/3 x minus 5. Okay. All right. Now, distributing negative 5/3 would have been fine. You would have had to add common, or you would have had to, actually that one ends up being not that bad at all. I forgot there wasn't a y value there, but either way is totally fine. Okay. All right. Write the point slope form of the equation having the given points. Let's do this one together. 5's a good one. All right. Point slope form of the equation line through the given points. They give me 2 points. I need to write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. What is my first step? You said what? Choose a point? That one right there. Now what do I do? Plug it into what? Okay. If I do that, I need to know a point and a slope. Do I know my slope yet?
You gotta find it by plugging in your slope.
Got to do slope first, and then we're going to do what you said, Max. So I got to do x1, y1, x2, y2. So m equals y2 minus y1, 4 minus 1 over x2 minus x1, which would be negative 1 minus 3. All right, 4 minus 1 gives me what?
3.
3. And then my denominator is?
Negative 4.
Very good. So my slope is negative 3/4. Okay? All right, now what I want to do is I need to write the equation of my line, so let's do what Max said. Now I know my slope. Which point do you want, Max? You said what, 3, 1? So then y minus y1, which would be 1, equals m, which is negative 3/4. I'm going to put the negative in front of the fraction. That's how I prefer to do it. And then x minus x1, which would be x minus 3. Okay? I want it in point slope form. Oh my God, I'm right there, aren't I? If I want it in point slope form, there's nothing else I have to do. That's point slope form right there. So I'm good. Problem's over. Problem solved. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you guys do this one on your own. This one's slope intercept. So 6 is pretty similar to what we did up above, except you'd have to go through and solve for y and get y by itself. So you'd have to pick up like where we left off with number 5. But it's different numbers, so same process though. All right. Standard form of the equation of that line. Okay, you can do that one. 7's a good one to do. All right, so we want standard form of the equation of line that passes through these 2 points. So negative 5, 2, and negative 4, negative 2. Very similar to the problem that we just started with the last one. However, I want my final answer to be in standard form. So ax plus by equals c. Okay? It's not a bad idea, I don't think, for you guys to, like, when you're given these problems, just remind yourself ax plus by equals c. Like, if you write that above the problem, then I think there's no reason why you wouldn't get it into the right form. I think it's pretty obvious or pretty common to be like, if I look at number 7, okay, I want to write it in standard form, cool. Let's start with figuring out my slope, plugging into point slope form, and then simplifying that, and then forgetting that you had to get it back into standard form. So I think if you write that equation above there, that might help you out. What do I need to start by doing? Same as last time. So let's find our slope. So y2 would be -2 minus y1, so -2, over x2, -4 minus x1. -2 minus 2. -4. -4 minus -5. 1. So my slope is going to be -4. All right. And then what I would do is I would get it into point slope form because I have my slope. Which point do you want to use? Doesn't matter. First one or second one? First one is least or less negative, so let's do that. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m, which we said was -4 times x minus x1. All right. Okay, so let's simplify and see what we get. Y minus 2. Oh, I want standard form, yeah? Okay. Well, there's no fractions for me to deal with. That's pretty good. So I would just distribute and then, go from there. So y minus 2 equals -4 times x is -4x. And then -4 minus -5, well, that's plus. So -4 times +5 would be -20. All right. Ax plus by equals c is our goal. What do you guys want to do next? I got to move some stuff around. Would you agree? What do you want to move first?
-2.
The -2? All right. I'll add 2 to both sides. I'll play your game. So y equals -4x minus 18. And then what are we moving, Chris? So add 4x to both sides. So I get 4x plus y equals -18. How are we feeling? We okay? Okay, all right. All right, slope-intercept form of the equation of the line described. It's parallel to this line. What does that mean?
Same slope.
Same slope. Would you guys rather do 8 or 9?
10.
Okay, let's look at 10. Slope-intercept form of the line described through that point perpendicular to that line. Okay. So slope-intercept, so I'm going to underline that and write y equals mx plus b up top. Okay. All right, to write the equation of my line, I need a point and a slope. I know my point. What's my slope?
-2/5.
Who do I believe?
Liam.
Probno or Liam? Ryan says Liam. What's the slope of the line they give me? 5/2, right? But I need it to be perpendicular, which means what about my slope? Opposite reciprocal, right? So if this slope they gave me was 5/2, I want my slope to be what? Liam, you said?
-2/5.
Good. Okay, so then let's write, so we have our slope now. Now we have a point. Now we just do point slope form and then switch it up. So y minus y1, so y1 is -1, equals m -2/5 times x minus x1, so x minus -5. All right, left side looks like y plus 1. Right side would be -2/5 x, and then -2/5 times minus -5. Minus -5 turns into plus. So what is -2/5 times 5?
45.
Okay, would be, no, it would not.
That would be -2.
It'd be -2, because your 5s cancel out. That's what he meant.
That's what I meant.
That's what he meant. So then we end up with -2. Okay. And then last step, subtract 1 from both sides. I'm not dealing with any fractions, which is kind of nice, aside from my slope. So -2 minus 1 is -3. So that's what I would get. Okay. All right. Oh, x and y intercept. We got to do this one for sure. 2x plus 3y equals 12. When I want to find my x-intercept, you can do it one of two ways. But if you want to find your x-intercept, you should plug 0 in for what?
1.
y. And then if I want to find my y-intercept, I should plug 0 in for x. Good. So then if I do that, I would do, so plug 0 in for y, I would have 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 12. We can effectively ignore 3 times 0, right? So then I just have 2x equals 12, which gives me x equals what?
6.
Very good. So then 6, 0 is my x-intercept. I'm just going to plot that right now. And then my y-intercept, I need to plug in 0 for x. So I'd have 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 12. So then I would get that 3y equals 12, which gives me y equals what? 4. So then my y-intercept is 0, 4. So then when I plot my line, it looks like that. How many points do you need to graph a line?
2.
2 points, good. So there's my line. What can you tell me about my slope?
Negative.
It's negative, and you can compute it pretty easily from those 2 points. Okay. All right, last one that's on here. God, I should have given you guys a bigger review, huh? Identify the slope and the point on the graph from the given equation, and then sketch each line. What's my slope?
2.
Yeah. So it's in point slope form, so it's easy to identify. What is my point? You said what?
-5, 4.
Do you guys agree with Chris?
Yeah.
He's one of them Algebra 2 students. I would agree with him. But you just compare it to y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And Chris, you remembered, what did you have to do to the values in order to find your point? Switch the sign, right? Like on the inside of the parentheses, I asked that question in a weird way. In the inside of the parentheses, you see x plus 5, but he writes his x coordinate as -5 because he knows he has to switch points, okay? All right, now I want to sketch the graph. How do I do that? I don't want you freezing up on the quiz. I got my point, I got a slope.
Start at your point and your slope.
Start your point and then use your slope. Good, Braden. So my point is -5, 4. So -5, 4 is right over chair. And then I need to use my slope. Am I going to go up, down? What am I doing here? So up to right 5. So up to, and then right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then there's my next point. And then I just need 2 points. So then just connect them, right? How do we feel? Well, the remainder of the 6 minutes, I want you to finish this, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the problems up on the board that we didn't do today. So that means we need to do 9. What else is in the mix? No! So 1, 4, 6, 8, and 9. Tomorrow when we come into class, who can put up number 1 for me? Ryan's going to do number 1. Who can do number 4 for me tomorrow when we come to the class? Julia, it's all you. What about number 6? Who can do 6 for me? Alyssa. What about 8? Who can do 8 for me? Clark, my man. And then number 9, who can do 9 for me? Landon, thank you. What I want you guys to do is circle that problem multiple times on your worksheet if you agreed, without being voluntold, or just in general, to put a problem up on the board. That way you remember that, oh, I got to put that one up on the board, okay? Tomorrow we'll come in, we'll put those ones up, and then we'll get to the quiz. I don't know, Alyssa. Were you 8?
Yeah, I guess it's
I think you were 8.
No, I was 8.
You were 8, Clark?
I was 8.
You were 6, bud.
I think she was 6.
Clark was 8? Alyssa was 6?
I'll be 8. I'll be 8.
Okay, cool. Clark could be 6. I think, oh, you were 8? Okay, so then Alyssa, you're 6? Alyssa, which one do you want, Clark?
You can be 6. I can be 8.
No, I said 8.
Okay.
So you're going to do 8, Clark?
Yeah.
All right, and then Alyssa, you're doing 6.
He's got it. 8 or 6.
We figured it out. All right, cool. All right. If you want me to help you with those before you leave, cool. Otherwise, get working on those, and then